Hi Year 2, we are looking at a new challenge today. So the challenge we're going to be looking at today is alphabetical order. My first question to you is, how many things can you think of that are arranged in alphabetical order? In a moment, I'm going to get you to pause the video and chat with your partner and see if you can come up with a list of things that are organised by the letters of the alphabet. Pause me now. Okay, how did you get on? I wonder if you got some of these. So you might have come up with some more as well. Let's just go with a few here first. A glossary. Do you remember what a glossary is? So in a non-fiction book, that's not a storybook, at the back of the book, you will often find a glossary. A glossary tells you all the technical words that are to do with that subject, and it tells you what they mean. So for example, in a book about gardening, the glossary might have some special gardening words like hoe, mowing, seasons, trimming, pruning. It might have all words to do with gardening. It tells me what they mean, and they're organised in alphabetical order. I'm going to come back to dictionary in a minute because we're going to be working on that today. A thesaurus is another book like a dictionary, but instead of telling you the meaning of a word, a thesaurus tells you some other words that mean nearly the same. We call those synonyms. So for example, if I'm writing a description of something and I've realised I'm using the same word lots of times, it was a beautiful day, a beautiful princess lived in a beautiful castle. That's going to be quite boring to read, seeing the same word 3 times. So I would look in the thesaurus and I would find a more interesting word that means something similar. So I might say it was a stunning day. The pretty princess lived in a gorgeous castle, or a sumptuous castle, or a luxurious castle. So I'm finding some other words that mean nearly the same, and I'm choosing the best one that fits my sentence. That's a thesaurus. They're all arranged in alphabetical order. An index is also at the back of a non-fiction book. So an index has lots and lots of words that are in the book, but it tells me what page that they're on. So I'm going to think about that gardening book again. My gardening book might have jobs to do in the winter, jobs to do in the summer, jobs to do in the spring. It might have something about your flower beds, gardening for wildlife, growing fruits and vegetables. There might be chapters on all of those things. Making compost, making a pond. But let's say I want to find out some information about roses. There isn't a chapter on roses, so I look up roses in the index and it will tell me what pages roses are mentioned on. So roses might appear in several of those chapters. It tells me all the different pages that roses come up on. So that's an index, and that's organised alphabetically. Also the phone book, which tells you all your contact names and addresses, and the class register, which you hear every morning. So the register. We're going to be talking today about the dictionary. The dictionary has a few different functions. So first of all, you can use it to help check your spelling, because all the words are listed there in alphabetical order. So as long as you can work out the first few sounds in the word and work out what letters the first few sounds are, you can check that word and find out, just double check and make sure you're spelling it right. So that's very handy for the dictionary, but it does lots of other things as well, because it usually tells you what type of word it is, like an adjective or a noun or a verb, and it tells you the meaning of the word. So if you've met a new word when you're reading and you're not quite sure what it means, you can check in a dictionary. And it sometimes even gives a sentence with it in to really help make it clear. But all of these things are organised by alphabetical order. So it's really important. The skill that you need to learn is how to look something up in alphabetical order. So because if you have to go through the whole dictionary every time you're going to find a word, it will take you a long time. So the first thing you can do is work out whereabouts in the dictionary to look. So for example, if I'm looking for a word beginning with M, I'm not going to start at the front of the dictionary. That's where A, B and C are. Okay, I'm not going to look at the back of the dictionary. That's where X, Y and Z are. I'm going to think about my alphabet, and I know M, you can see it on the left there, M is somewhere in the middle of the alphabet. So my M word is going to be somewhere in the middle of the dictionary. If I'm looking up a word that begins with C, I'm not going to look at the end of the alphabet or the middle of the alphabet. I'm not going to look in that part of the dictionary because C is near the beginning of the dictionary. So I'm going to look near the beginning. Okay, and even then I can flick through quite quickly, because if I open the dictionary near the beginning and it's on B, I can flick a few more pages to get to C. If I open the book and it's at E, I know I need to flick back a few pages to get to C. So I can use my knowledge of the alphabet to open the dictionary in the right place and to know whether I need to go backwards or forwards a bit to find the page I'm looking for. So your first task today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these words and think whereabouts in the dictionary they're going to be. So I'm starting with partner. Partner begins with a P. P is, I'm looking at my alphabet here. I know my alphabet. Okay, I know that M is roughly in the middle and P is after M. So it's just after the middle of the dictionary. In fact, I can see on here, we've divided it into 5, haven't we, into fifths. So it's not in the first fifth, right? It's just after halfway. It's in the third fifth there. Partner. Okay. D for dismiss. D for dismiss. A, B, C, D. It's right near the beginning. So it's going to be in the first bit of the dictionary. Shack. Let's just have a think. I've got partner over there. P-Q-R-S. T. So it's in that section there. So it's after the first half. It's not in the first half, but it's not right at the back. Okay. Wheeze. Oh, I know W's right near the end of the alphabet. So it's going to be in this section of the alphabet here. This section goes all the way from U, V, W, X, Y, Z. This one's got 6 letters in. So there's my W. It's there near the end of the alphabet. So there's wheeze. Bulletin starts with a B. A, B. A, B, C, D. So B is going to go in there. Guilty. G for guilty. I can see it here. F. There's my section. F, G, H, I, J. It's in that second section. So I'm not going to be looking right at the beginning of the dictionary, but I am going to be looking in the first half of the dictionary, aren't I? For guilty. For majesty. Majesty is right in the middle. There's an M there, right in the middle of the dictionary. Infinite. F, G, H, I, J. It's in that section there. It's not in the middle, but it's not at the beginning. It's in between. V for virtual. I can see my V here. It's right at the very end of the dictionary. And L for liquid. L is also, it's just before M, so it's in the middle of the dictionary. It's in the middle of the alphabet. So I would look in the middle of the dictionary for that. Okay, so this is how we open the dictionary at the right place. We don't want to start at the front and work our way through every time. We can open the dictionary in roughly the right place by thinking, whereabouts in the alphabet is this letter? But if you open the dictionary, you might find a lot of letters, a lot of words all starting with the same letter. Do you have to read through every single word to find yours? Or is there a better way? There is actually a better way, because once you've found the section with all of the letters, all of your letter, you then have to use the second letter of your word. So let's say I'm looking at joyful. So I know I'm in the J section, but there are lots of words in the J section. So Well, O is in the second half of the J words. So J will be after all the J, J and the J, E's. It's going to be after all of those. So once I have found the right letter of the alphabet for my first letter, I then think about what my second letter is and whereabouts it is. So to practice that, we're going to put these words into alphabetical order. They all start with a J. So we have to look at the second letter. The first word is jagged, J-A. Okay, A is near the beginning. Are there any other words that start with J-A? J-A. So that's J-U, J-O, J-O, J-E, J-A. There are two J-A's and that's J-E. So which one of these is first? Let's look at the third letter. So we've got J-A-G and J-A-U. Which one comes first if I organise them by alphabet? Well, I have to look at the third letter, and G comes before U in the alphabet. So it's going to be jagged and then jaunty. Let's have a look. So I've ticked off both. I'm just going to tick those off. Done both of those. Jagged and jaunty. J-U, J-O, J-O, J-E, J-E. So E comes before O or U. So these two I've got to sort out next. Let's look at the third letter. J-E-A. Just put that there. Or J-E-S. Which one comes first? It's the J-E-A that comes first. Then the J-E-S. So jealous and then jester. Okay, now I've got three words left and I've got J-U, J-O, J-O. U comes after O in the alphabet, so it's going to be my two J-O words next. And let's look at the third letter. J-O-I or J-O-Y. Well, Y is right at the end of the alphabet. I is in the middle somewhere. So this one comes before this one. So we've got joint and then joyful, which means judge with a U is the last one. So you can see how using the first and then the second and then the third sounds, I can organise all my words into alphabetical order, which means that when I'm looking for a word in the dictionary, I first of all know whereabouts in the dictionary to look for my letter. Then I can work out using my alphabet knowledge whether to go forwards or backwards to find the letter I need. Then once I've found my letter, I can use the second and the third letters to get much more exact and find the page that I need with my word on it. Now it's your turn. You have got to do both of those tasks. So the first thing we've got is up at the top here, we've got these 10 words and you need to put them in the right bit of the dictionary. Which bit of the dictionary would these be in? Some of you have been working on your reading eggs, and I know that there's an activity that uses this in Reading Eggs or in Reading Express. So some of you may have done something like this on your Reading Eggs or Reading Express. When you've done that and put those 10 words in the right place on the table, there are 4, 5, 6, 7 words here with all start with an E, and you need to put those into alphabetical order as well using their second and third letters. Then it's your Easter holiday tomorrow, so no more spellings tomorrow.